Dice Company contains fantasy violence, mature themes, and unapologetic bickering. No feelings were hurt in the making of it, but listener discretion is advised. Dice Company will always be free, but it's not free to make. Please consider supporting us on Patreon or Apple Podcasts and get access to our weekly roundtable show Extra Roll. Just follow any of the links in the show notes for this chapter.
The Sterling has all the things that other airships have, and thanks to Tok, a few things they don't. But none of that stuff's important. This is the stuff that's important. The damaged main stick from when Augustus defeated 2 ancient creatures of law. The scratch marks on the poop deck from when Lenny was hunting a mysterious hanging rope. Or the slight indentation from one of Seeksorrow and Otis's fights. The Sons of Khaile don't care what kind of airship the Heron travel in. They overlook the things which make something truly alive. It never really occurs to them that while they have a roof over their heads or 4 walls around them, they don't have a home. But the Order of the Heron do. In the storm-filled skies of the northeast of Aethelon, an aerial battle is unfolding between the Shale Airfleet and the Sons of Khaile. The Order of the Heron are split between 2 ships, the Sterling and the claimed Iron Psalm. As the ships leave a fog bank which obscured their view, Petren, you saw a bizarre ship pulling alongside the Sterling. The cog-light Requiem, made of hundreds of thousands of tiny cogs. It undulates and transforms mid-air, presenting a gallery of screaming skull visages as it prepares to attack.
No sails!
I'm going to try to slow the Sterling down so that we can get our new ship out in front so we can use the battering ram. At the same time, I'm going to yell to the helmsman,
Hard over to port!
because I'm going to try and spin our ship so we've got a broadside to show.
Can we see any people or creatures on board the ship?
You can see nothing other than the movement of the ship itself.
Explain, but imagine the 3 ships are going along together.
Yeah.
Imagine the middle ship slows down suddenly and then turns to go behind, and then you get that amazing what's called a raking action. So you get the guns that you manage to get behind the ship.
So
and
it
then fire.
slows, releasing the Iron Psalm to come in
to
from
speed
to turn
up
and
turn in, and then at the same time I turn. So if it all works, I end up behind our target ship,
bearing your starboard side to fire.
Yes,
into the back of the...
Exactly, and then the cannonballs go all the way through the ship.
Nice. I mean, they should definitely hire us for, the Navy.
You give the instructions to Geddes, who begins to slow the Sterling. Can I roll a d20 and add 2 to that for Geddes's check?
That gives us a 20.
Oh, Geddes, stop it!
Geddes, you rogue.
Yes. Okay, so the 3 ships currently running parallel to each other suddenly find that the central ship, the Sterling, slows as air is let out of its sails. At the same time, Geddes throws the helmsman's wheel hard over the starboard, and so as the Sterling slows, it begins to turn, kind of taking it behind the Requiem so we can present our broadside.
Holy shit balls. Okay, Seeksorrow, you are piloting the Iron Psalm, so you give me a dexterity check, please.
I would just like to say for reference that the aim here for the Iron Psalm to tip its mast as well, to go up and turn, because we're in the air, it's not a ship sailing flat on the ocean, like a skateboarder going around the corner of a bowl, tipping the whole weight of it round a sharp corner to slingshot the ship itself into the side of the Requiem. It's a nice description, but my dexterity is not noted for its brilliance.
Can Tok assist with that?
Yes.
At advantage 10.
From Vander's point of view, you have successfully performed your part of the maneuver. The Iron Psalm, however, is not turning quick enough to get into a battering position. So actually, they're going to collide, but it's not going to do the damage of the battering ram.
Okay, so can I cast a spell?
Yes.
Awesome. So Vander
I
is
might
gonna...
regret that. I might take that back. What is the spell you're casting?
Well, let me run through and see if you allow it. So
It's hydrogen
Vander,
bomb.
yeah, exactly.
No!
Auto win.
Regicide!
Yeah, so Vander shouts down to the crew,
Load the guns!
and then casts Misty Step, disappearing from the poop deck and reappearing at the very front of the Sterling. That should put him within 30 feet of the other helmsman on the Requiem. At that point, Vander extends his hand and in the rain points at the helmsman, casting Modify Memory. My aim... Oh, am I dead? Am I not?
It's a red card, it's 2 spells.
It is two
helmsman.
spells, but there's no helmsman. There are no living creatures that you can see on the ship.
No living creatures that I can
No.
see on the ship at all.
Sadly not. I loved it though. And I wish I hadn't said there were no living creatures, but I did say that.
A great plan with only one minor drawback.
Damn it, that is exactly what I should have said. Imagine I said what Harry said. And then laugh at how hilarious I am.
So Vander extends his hand and then looks at the ship and realizes there's no one on. There's no one on the deck. He stares in disbelief for a second.
No one on deck!
I don't know if that's lost to the winds, but you can see Vander now at the front of the ship, waving his hands.
Petren is still holding control of the lightning. He's going to move the storm directly over this new threatening ship.
Nice.
But less confident that it's going to have the same impact, but
It failed its dexterity saving throw, which it gets.
yeah, you can see Petren standing on deck, and he turns, and you can see the clouds move with his rotation and swing around from over the Iron Psalm to above this new threatening ship, and then you see lightning crash down upon the deck, and that is 22.
The lightning hits the constantly moving ship at various points and sparks out in different directions. It does not appear to have done as much damage as you expected it to do, however. Seeksorrow, you are in command of a ship which you are attempting to ram into another ship, but you can't pivot quickly enough. You may attempt a maneuver to try and stop the ships from colliding. If you do not, they are going to smash into one another. It's up to you.
I think this sort of lightning-resistant mecha ship is not a good thing to collide with at this time. So I think Seeksorrow is going to try and straighten up and carry on flying parallel to it.
You find one of these in the jungle, it's just covered in warning colours, isn't it?
You wouldn't lick the frog equivalent of this ship.
Tok will send a mental message to Vander saying, possible fire ship.
He gets a nod back from Vander at that, an agreeing nod.
I think basically Seeksorrow is going to have swerved a moment of hesitation, and then he's going to think, oh, sod this. And then he's going to swerve again and try and stick his nose in the side of the Requiem as hard as the Iron Psalm can manage.
Tok is not going to assist. Instead, he's going to ready the escape plan. So he's going to gather, Saldric, Vane, and Tick just behind Seeksorrow and sort of get them to both brace for impact.
Similarly, Vander's going to be looking very quickly for those shots to try and disable this ship before we get any further into this.
Vander seems in a fairly vulnerable position, doesn't he? Is he like sitting on the very front, all on his own? Yeah.
He certainly is.
Like Rose from Titanic.
he's belting out Celine Dion.
He needs a sacrificial jack. That's what he needs.
Let's hope it's from the first half of the film and not the second half.
Okay, Seeksorrow, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
16.
Exactly what you needed.
Oh, yes, please.
You are able, with incredible effort as Tok, normally helpful, moves around behind you along with Tick and Sir Aldrich Vane. You spin the gigantic steering wheel, which is what I'll always call it, and you're just able to get the battering ram of the Iron Psalm in line with the enemy ship. That is 8d10, please.
So that is 51.
Boom.
Very good.
The Iron Psalm smashes into the side of the cog-like Requiem, and you notice all the cogs begin to move really quickly as it kind of envelops your ship as you charge into the side of it. The amount of impact that you expected to feel is lessened as the cog-like Requiem seems to bend itself around your ship, almost changing its direction, so that there are two ships almost head-on with one another now as you continue to sail through it, and you are being enveloped into it. The kind of moving cogs are getting closer and closer along the poop deck towards you where you are. Vander, you may now fire, because you said that was part of your action, wasn't it? To pull back, swing out, and then fire broadside cannons?
That's it, yeah. So, a 7.
The cannon shots fly wide, completely missing the mass of ships that are in front of you.
I'm going to assume that the gunners were just absolutely mesmerised by what was happening in front of them.
They cannot believe what they're seeing. Tok!
Tok is going to say loudly, "Initiate emergency airship mode," and sweep Soldric Vane into the back, into his cloak. Little Tick is going to grab Seeksorrow, likewise bundle him into the back of Tok's cloak, along with Little Tick, and then Tok is going to put both fists up in the air and fly vertically off the deck back towards the Sterling.
What's happening?
Sorry, what just happened?
With his cloak dramatically billowing in the wind. First time I've done that, by the way.
Can I be the first to say, quite right, quite right.
Quite right, too!
I'm sorry. That is absolutely nuts. Also, it does look to anyone watching this, it must look like Tok is now stealing people.
Tok returns his stolen people to the Sterling.
Before you do, can you give me a dexterity saving throw at advantage, please, Tok?
Okay. 17. Do I add an extra? Yeah, okay, this sounds important. Tok is going to use his unspeakable genius to add an extra 5 to that. So that'll be 22.
Your fucking unspeakable genius, I hate it. As you're flying through the air with your cape billowing magnificently behind you, you see a series of cogs form a sort of tentacle which reaches up and tries to grab your ankle as you're flying, but you're too fast and you get away as the Iron Psalm is completely subsumed by the cog-like Requiem.
Amalgamation denied.
Ten days previous.
Vander is holding a war council on the poop deck, of course.
Alden, you will be our lead ship, so keep your lookouts eyes peeled.
Understood.
Gosla, follow Plex's lead if you don't understand the tactics we just discussed.
You'll find I understand tactics perfectly well, thank you. And she bites her lips. Sky Marshal.
That remains to be seen, Gosla. And Vander turns. Einsteiger! Keep an eye on Gosla.
I always do. And he gives her eyes, and you notice, Vander, that she blushes slightly.
Interesting.
Vander says, even that's knocked him slightly off kilter. And I think Vander's now looking for a distraction of some kind. He doesn't really want to keep the war council going while he's lost the impetus there. Is there anything else going on the Sterling that he can kind of segue to?
On the poop deck, in the pouring rain on the slippery surface, you see Tok and Seeksorrow once again lining up for a sparring session.
Ah, if it isn't a pupil of mine about to test their skills.
Vander says, looking for a swift exit from the war council.
Excuse me, captains, I must observe.
And Vander shambles to the balustrade to look over and observe the events.
And they all salute you as you leave.
And they get a very admirably nod.
Tok is looking stoic, ignoring the rain and storm around him, holding his shield and the wooden practice stick that he made.
I taught him that look.
Says Vander.
Looking across the poop deck from him stands.
Seeksorrow, looking confused as to how Vander could have taught a look to someone whose face has no expression.
I mean, he's got a mask on, doesn't he?
Vander looks stoic in return.
So Seeksorrow also has a sparring stick, I believe.
Yes, I think it was like a quarterstaff representing his great axe, wasn't it?
Seeksorrow bounces from foot to foot, swings the stick around a bit like he's, thinks he's a ninja, ready to put Tok on his arse again.
Well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it properly. Let's have attack rolls from both of you, please.
Was it
amazing.
athletics check?
Athletics check, highest roll wins.
Okay, right.
Rollies!
Can I guide Tok?
Don't have guidance as a spell.
Tok could guide himself. And maybe he should.
That is a mere 13 for Seeksorrow.
Ooh, very beatable.
Tok's armor during this glows blue.
Oh, you motherfucker.
And he has taken lessons from last time, thus guiding himself.
He's going for Max.
He's going for Max. His unspeakable genius is going to also be assisting him.
Tok adds about 30 to his roll.
Go for the biggest roll of the campaign.
It's going to be a lot. I mean, the roll might not be a lot, but the bonus to it is. Right, okay. So I've got that, plus that, plus that, plus 5. So
Oh my god.
that is in total 29.
I mean, the maximum I could have rolled is 28.
Notes that Tok's strength attribute is now, base strength attribute is now equal to Seeksorrow's.
But that's my best thing. Like, is playing a fighter basically just means you're just an inferior creature?
To an automaton, yes. But that's true of all of the meat sacks with calcium carbonate sticks.
Well, that is fighting talk.
Tok took some mighty blows to his personality to get those stats.
It is -1.
Doug, please describe your attack against your successful attack against Seeksorrow.
Okay, so Tok waits for the inevitable crushing blow from Seeksorrow's quarterstaff, keeps his shield and his sword stick together, takes the brunt of the blow on both of them, which still pushes him back, but leaving the quarterstaff on his shield, he whips the point of the stick around and holds it just underneath Seeksorrow's chin and pauses. And you hear him say, "Do you yield?"
Vander slaps one of the captains.
I call that the Grandpa's revenge.
Impressive.
Is there any way Seeksorrow can now try to use his rope to tie Tok's feet together and lever him to the ground?
He can go. I did invite him to yield or not, so I'm happy for him to carry that on.
Okay, you may make your own decision.
Seeksorrow is going to try and tie Tok's feet together with a rope.
Is he going to try and pull
him
like
down.
yank it and pull him down? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, do an opposed strength check.
Oh my god.
That's a 22 for Seeksorrow.
Solid.
And that will be Tok rolls a 15 for his strength test.
Nice.
Seeksorrow very unsportingly, given that Tok has just kindly not punched him in the throat when he had the window to do it, whips out a rope and sort of slings it around Tok's feet and just pulls his feet out from under him.
Incorrect. Tok remains on his feet, using his armor of magical strength, which one of the benefits is he can just ignore being thrown on his back. If he would be knocked prone, he needs your action to expend a charge to avoid being knocked prone. Tok stays standing.
So what does Seeksorrow basically just drags Tok towards him?
Slowly.
So Seeksorrow, like a man trying to drag a very large fridge freezer across a kitchen floor, there's a terrible creaking, scraping noise as Tok's enormous feet drag across the deck. And then Seeksorrow goes, "Oh, bloody hell. All right, Tok, well done."
Tok, seeing Vander behind him, walks back to the side of the poop deck, walk back to the edge of the sort of sparring area and using his sword salutes his teacher.
And Seeksorrow, you hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet from behind you as little Tick approaches, yelling at you.
Scurrilous behavior, you weak-kneed knave! Your brain is but pudding, and your face would frighten a gargoyle. Father, I will avenge you!
And Seeksorrow rolls his eyes and goes, "Oh, this guy again," and drops the rope and turns to face his assailant.
You see little Tick holding an enormous, comparatively, hand axe that is glowing, faintly blue. You recognize it from one of the Ungovernables, Knight.
In response to this, Seeksorrow is going to go for his gravedigger's shovel. And he's going to basically attempt to swat little Tick to one side like a fly. He's just going to try and broadside him with the flat side of the shovel and just basically knock him over to stop him attacking.
Sounds like an opposed athletics check to me.
So that is 21 for athletics from Seeksorrow.
It's a natural one.
Oh no!
You swing your gravedigger's spade and catch him square on the face with a clang as he falls onto his back.
Oh, I've been embarrassed again.
Oh no, you haven't, little man. Look, call him off. I don't want to fight the little guy. I love his pluck, but I don't want him to hit me with an axe.
Little Tick, desist.
Yes, Father. This is another bad outcome. I need improvements.
That would be acceptable. And Tok will pass him a little club. It looks like a quarterstaffy kind of size stick for his size, and will say, "Seeksorrow, I request instruction for little Tick."
Well, I don't mind training him, but he's got to stop attacking me. It's not. I know he's only small, but like if I'm asleep or something, he'll probably chop my head off.
That is sensible. Little Tick, you are to avoid attacks against your instructor. Copy his movements, his timing.
Father, are you sure I can learn anything from this simpering tallow-faced buffoon?
That is correct. The simpering, tallow-faced buffoon is an expert at the axe. He has bested me before, if you remember.
Understood.
Let's just be friends, little Tick. I'm not a simpering whatever balloon or whatever you said.
His designation is Seeksorrow. That is how he should be referred to.
Master Seeksorrow, teach me!
All right, little Tick, let's go. And Seeksorrow picks up his quarterstaff training weapon, squares off against little Tick and starts, I guess, throwing little jabs and helping him do some wax on, wax off.
Tok looks from the sidelines in much the same way as Vander was during Tok's fight.
Oh, all the generations. Tok, you are flying through the air with Seeksorrow and the others all stowed safely away in your cloak, as behind you the cog-like requiem completely consumes the Iron Sar.
And can like a muffled Seeksorrow voice reach Tok from inside the cloak, or is the cloak, I'm in a different plane of the universe?
You see, so you're in that cushioned area that you were in before on the Sterling. You see propped up in the corner a periscope.
Amazing. So Seeksorrow in a minute is going to pop that periscope out and see what's going on. But Seeksorrow just goes, "Oh God, well done, Tok, thank you." Seeksorrow did not want to become part of the Borg.
I was going to say 1 minute he's in an air battle and next he's in a kind of crash.
Yeah. Petren, roll me a d20, please.
2.
Petren, in all the chaos, you can see outlines of other ships from the Airfleet of Shale, and one of them is frantically performing semaphore. You cannot read semaphore, can you?
I don't see any reason why I'd be able to read semaphore.
Okay.
I mean, I can maybe tell that he looks frantic.
Yes, you can definitely tell that he looks frantic. And then there is a moment of stillness and the ship explodes. Vander, roll me a d10, please.
What do you mean? Okay.
Roll me a d20, sorry, d20.
Oh, 12.
Petren, roll me a d6, please.
Oh.
I've made you the the overseer of the environment. So that's why.
Is that because I'm rolling so badly? Is that...
Well, 1 to 3 is no effect. So
Okay. 3.
excellent, no effect.
Way!
However, through the explosion of the crown, you see an enormous black wood ship covered in metal plates. It hones into view, stacked with cannons. Its poop deck is encased under a dome. This is the Vox Domini, the lead ship of the assault.
Petren is going to shout, "Ship! Ahoy! A ship! Look out!" And can I see the pilot of this ship?
You can't see anything because it's under a dome.
Damn it all.
It is substantially bigger than you, and it has lots of very visible cannons on it, on both sides, as well as one large cannon on the front.
So, okay, Tok has landed on the deck and let Seeksorrow and Aldrich out.
Nice, before they choke to death. Excellent.
That's perfect. I actually do have a backup plan just in case of them asphyxiating.
Is it a new character sheet for Al?
Photocopy for the win.
So Seeksorrow sprawls out onto the deck and rolls rather kind of frantically around, and then stands up and goes, oh, good. Oh, we're back on the sterling. Good.
Vander, you have been alerted to the Vox Domini on your tail.
Vander has now begun shambling from the front of the ship back to the poop deck where he's better placed for command. He offers words of encouragement to the sailors as he shuffles between them, and as he gets to Tok, "Impressive," he says, looking at the recently landed automaton. Looking out, his one eye refocuses. "This is it, boys!" He thinks for a second, and under his breath, and looking at the weight of cannon of the Vox, "We're going to have to go straight at them."
Vander, do you wish me to deploy the secret weapon?
Vander looks for a second at Tok, and then just says, "Of course."
Okay.
Just while this is happening, beer is still dripping from the crow's nest down onto the deck.
Tok starts issuing orders to the automatons who start bringing equipment up onto top deck.
Okay, and I just want to can we just pause for a second here, because there's a whole flow diagram in Vander's head there, because obviously he wants to know what the weapon is, but he's looked at the flow diagram and he knows from vast experience that is a nebulous black hole of a conversation that no sane admiral or sky marshal would ever engage in. So he's just gonna, having seen Tok's previous magnificence, he's just gonna trust to the fates. And then looking back at the equipment that's now coming up, Vander says to Tok meaningfully, "The die is cast."
Incorrect, Vander. It is not a die. The metal canisters are filled with black powder.
1 week previous. You guys all gather in the mess hall for dinner.
After Petren's newest soup has been consumed, I assume it was made into soup even if it wasn't originally, Tok carefully lays down on the center of the table a board with a wooden box with a sliding lid on top, and sets it right in the middle of the table but facing Vander, and says, "Vander, I have a gift."
Vander, who is up until this moment enjoying the soup, now looks quite on his guard.
And what could I expect to find in this little box?
A surprise. Open the box.
How do we always end up here, Tok?
It is the mess hall. We have food every day in this location.
Ah, yes, of course.
Says Vander in mock surprise.
Right out with it.
And then his gnarled hand reaches out and he flips the clasp on the box and opens it without further ado. What awfulness spills out.
There are 2 compartments inside the box, and sort of like neatly in small ranks appears to be an army in each one. The little army figures are about 2 inches tall each, and you can see some clear ranks with officers and such like.
This is most exquisite craftsmanship,
Vander says with actual genuine delight and surprise.
If he picks one up, he'll see that they seem to be holding themselves steady as you move them, animated in some fashion. There's a whole bunch of foot soldiers for each army. One side stylized as bounders, The other side, stylized as the Knights of Scarlet, a couple of ranks behind with what's clearly an officer class. You can see the Emperor and the faces of the Shadow Vanguard. Reasonable detail on the officer class on one set. On the white-coloured set, you can see the tallest figure in the centre, a depiction of Augustus, standing next to, with a slightly shorter frame, but also a crown, Vander with his walking stick. Standing either side of them is Petren and Benny, and then beside them is Seeksorrow and Bardal Schultz, both astride horses, even though I haven't really seen them on horseback for some reason. Standing in the corner are two hulking automaton figures, clearly representing Tok and Tick.
Vander looks at the beautiful pieces and plays with one in his hand, and it tilts just like you described.
Tok, this is exquisite.
He says, manipulating the piece.
It also reminds me of a game I find rather familiar.
The game of dragon chess, Vander.
Quite so, Tok.
Vander says, not his eyes not leaving the set. He picks up the Augustus piece.
I recognize this one most keenly. Truly fine craftsmanship.
He replaces the piece.
You are familiar with the rules?
Indeed, Vander. The game was taught by Rasha Kadan in Verokir. The Orcs.
Of course, Vander says, remembering. A passable player, but no match for me.
He continues to turn the piece that resembles Augustus.
The pieces are animated, Vander. And Tok will demonstrate by putting one of the bounder pawns in front of Augustus. Move King Augustus forward.
Vander watches intently.
You see his famous flaming blade raised and then strike down, skewering the bounder through the chest. It looks reasonably realistic until the bounder falls over and you can see that there are like segments on little tiny springs, so the piece collapses. When you take it away, the piece sort of resets itself. It doesn't appear to have suffered any damage at all. The bounder collapses, a small pool of blood forming around it on the floor. It then springs back when removed up to its original standing position. The blood seems to quickly evaporate.
Vander cackles.
Aboard with pieces that bleed. How very perceptive, Tok. This is a marvelous gift.
Technically, they are a variety of mushroom spore.
Of course, we return to microbes.
Indeed, Petren was of great use for the selection of this fungus.
Oh no. Well, did I help with this? Oh.
Petren, you've created a board that bleeds. This is a fine accomplishment.
I didn't know that that's what I was doing. Oh dear.
That is often the way with our true genius. You have a dark gift there, Petren,
Vander says with a smile.
Petren's dark genius has produced another gift, Vander. And Tok produces from his pouch one of your cheroots. Passes it to you. Says, this cheroot has been enhanced.
This isn't even my birthing day and such gifts.
Vander takes the cheroot, interested, and runs it under his nose with a horrible sniff.
It has a strangely sickly sweet smell to it.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Tok, set me a DC.
Ooh, well, Tok's DC is 18. That seems a bit much. This isn't the prime of... Okay, very good.
Rules are rules. And we're nothing if not stickler for rules.
Quite.
Right.
I know my cheroots, so I'm going to ask for advantage if that works for you, DM.
I'm going to deny that.
Oh, okay then.
Tok will grant guidance if Vander is willing to sit through a long and tedious explanation.
I get no guidance.
Marvellous.
21. Whee! Okay, so this cheroot, rather than just the normal sort of relaxing properties of the cheroot, you think this is going to give you energy, sharpen your mind, possibly quicken your step.
I sense alchemy is present in this cheroot, which will enhance its powers, shall we say? How very intriguing. You'll pass me this little gift, perhaps. I detect an attempt to even the playing field.
The playing field is perfectly flat, Vander. I have planed it for several hours. Tok referring down to the chess set board.
I look forward to shredding your pieces one at a time,
Vander says, setting his pieces out. As he does so, though, he takes again Augustus's piece and touches it a second time, and you see the faintest blue light pass between Vander's finger and the piece.
This piece has bled enough already.
So while you two settle down for a good old-fashioned game of dragon chess with... I mean, at this point, it's battle chess, right? From the Amiga?
Yeah, that is obviously where I drew the inspiration from.
Wonderful.
Oh my god, amazing.
So what is that for chess? There's a chess proficiency. Whee!
Are you proficient in chess?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vander is as well. So
Oh,
it's intelligence-based.
Roll your intelligences, add your modifiers, and let's see who the winner is.
Cool. Okay, well, Tok is definitely guiding himself with his previous training.
Is his armor glowing blue just for show as well?
Oh, well, screw you.
I mean, he's definitely using his unspeakable genius.
I'm not sure shattering the ego of the Sky Marshal before a potential fight is a great idea, but here we are.
Oh no, I rolled a 1.
22.
Okay, I've got a D4 to add to that.
It's like, he can do this. He can still do this.
Okay, Tok's grand total at the end of all of this is still 18.
Ooh, so relatively close, but a comprehensive victory for Sky Marshal Finnick.
The Emperor at the end of the game falls to which piece?
I'm going to have an automaton finish it.
Nice.
Foreshadowing.
A powerful piece, do you not agree, Tok?
That is true. It is a piece I favor.
No, really, I hadn't noticed.
Vander says, looking down at the game.
The aerial battle continues at pace as Tok and Vander prepare to use the secret weapon.
We will have one chance, Tok. That ship is likely to destroy us.
That is correct.
Inspiring as ever.
I just can't bring myself to ask what it does. That's obviously what I need to do, and I just can't do it. And it's not just me, Vander can't do it. You know what? Vander doesn't do it. He just trusts to Tok, and he just heads up. We're going to put him... I'm just going to, dock out of Back to the Future. I'm just going to line Marty up and hope that he's got the goods.
This means I've won, doesn't it?
It really does. Comprehensive knockout victory.
That is...
Just like the ancient Greeks, he chose not to compete.
That is an outrage.
Vander, while you're licking your wounds after your obvious defeat to Tok, would you like to issue commands to the rest of the Fleet of Shale? There are a further 6 ships behind the fleet.
Okay, I think I'm going for the ships of the line approach, so I just want to try and arrange our ships so we're presenting a wide line, which means we can all turn at once if we need to and present our broadsides, but we're going to go straight at them.
Seeksorrow, ships of the line formation.
Vander says as he climbs the steps to the poop deck.
Oi, oi, Admiral. Seeksorrow snaps out of his fear and panic about everything that's just happened.
Sky Marshal.
Says Vander over his shoulder.
All right, yep, Sky Marshal. And Seeksorrow just gets to he doesn't bother going up to the mast. He just finds a prominent spot, near the bowsprit and starts flagging the message.
Cool, give me a performance check, please.
Any chance of advantage now we're not in the fog and I've been practicing this loads?
Yeah, go on.
17.
Nice.
The rest of the air fleet begins to maneuver into position, ready for a ships of the line approach.
Petren just runs to the side of the ship to see the remnants of the crown falling through the air, and just goes, "Oh no, what's happened? What do we do? What do we do?"
Fight on, Petren. We fight on. Shale expects that every man will do his duty.
Oh, I felt so good saying that.
Nice. That was fun.
Petren, I believe man refers to automaton and furbolg in this context.
Can I do an insight check to see if Harry's weapon can be used on him?
No.
I roll lucky. I want a second shot at that.
So you have your plan in place. Plan, as it is.
All speed, Mr. Gaddis.
Aye, aye.
And then Vander also shouts to the sailors on deck to rig the sails for altitude flying. We're also going to try and go up.
Roll a d20, Charlie, and add 2 to your roll, please.
That's 15.
Geddes follows the instructions to the letter, and the rest of the crew begins scurrying around the poop deck as the rain lashes down and thunder cracks and lightning arcs around as the Sterling lifts into the air. The Vox Domini is not the most dexterous of ships, and it struggles to change its trajectory to match yours. You are floating into a high position above it. Next in line is the gunner spot. So if there's any weapons you would like to use, now would be the time.
Okay, on board the Vox, can we see the cannons on the decks?
You can see the cannons scattered around the ship, but yeah, from your high position you can definitely see down through the dome, the kind of wooden dome, that there are cannons scattered across the deck.
Tok will command the automaton unit, so all 6 of his automatons will come to the gunwales of the Sterling. They're all holding what looks like a long metal tube that they've put a small metal like canister. I say small, it looks like a giant tub of beans, giant tin of beans, into the canister, and they're aiming the tubes down towards the Vox, towards the guns specifically. Each automaton is targeting a separate gun, and on Tok's command, launch, they fire these canisters down straight towards the deck using a catapult spell.
Oh, shit.
So, dexterity saving throw for each gun. On a failed roll, it'll take 48 bludgeoning damage, plus the explosives damage from the canisters.
Okay, well, cannons don't get dexterity saving throws.
No, that'll suck for them, I guess, won't it? Okay, so each one of them, I had to kind of custom do this because it can launch how much?
I didn't have time earlier, he says. Meanwhile, he's created an entire system of rocket launchers.
So each one can launch a 10-pound projectile, which is going to be basically a bomb. But the bomb in the D&D one is just 1 pound of explosives.
Right.
And that does 3d6 fire damage.
And this is how many pounds?
This will be 10 pounds, so 10 times as much. I don't know exactly what. So a keg does 7d6 damage. So I was going to go with that. And on top of that, the ammunition is also all magical. So it's walloping ammunition. So there's going to be a blast wave, and anybody nearby is going to have to make a save or be thrown, hopefully off the ship, in a random direction.
Okay, let's...
Right. Okay,
Holy shit! Right, roll the damage first. Let's see what happens with the damage, and we'll worry about...
Harry might have been prepared for this battle, mightn't he?
I meant to make a macro to do all the rolling for me, but I forgot to do it.
Can't get past the beans description as well. The beans are doing this.
You're never going to know beans in the same way again. Okay, right, so 4d10 for the first gun.
You'd have to calculate it.
46 damage to the first gun, and then a save for any crew that are nearby.
That's 3 fails in the crew nearby.
Okay, so they're going to take the full damage, and so it's a DC 10 strength saving throw to be knocked back, and otherwise the save is just for the damage. So I don't know if they want 2 saves or whether it's best just to do it in 1.
Only 1 success. The explosion rips through the poop deck, and you see 2 automaton bodies basically flying off the side of the Vox Domini down into the darkness below.
Okay, second gun is 45 damage.
Again, another 2 automatons fly off the side of the ship into the darkness and depths below.
For the third one, it is 50 damage. The fourth impact is 41. The fifth impact's only 26, a lot of ones in that roll. And the last impact's for 35.
You have done enough damage to effectively remove all the hit points of the ship. So you have effectively won combat.
Primary detonation sequence complete.
But it's certainly not in control of itself. It's adrift.
Boarding action.
I think we'd want to claim the ship, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I think we should definitely try and claim as much stuff as we can from the battlefield.
Tok, your barrage of assault scutters. That's not the word. What's the word? Scuttles the ship.
Ah.
The Vox Domini no longer has the power to move forward as it drifts ineffectively through the storm. But it is not crashing yet. Behind it, the Airfleet of Shale has formed a ships of the line offensive position and suddenly unleash a relentless volley of shots. The Sons of Khaile's ship, with no command issuing orders, find themselves beaten, battered, and quickly reduced to matchsticks.
That gets a three-tooth smile from the Sky Marshal as he looks at how that's gone.
Forward, lads, complete your victory.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, so Vander's gonna.
We've got them, boys! To the rail! Boarding action!
And Vander storms down the steps to join the crew for what will hopefully be the final boarding.
Maybe oil. Check the coast is clear before we board this vessel. Petrel is going to cast gaseous form and, taking the form of a cloud of gas, drift down to the Vox Domini to assess the situation, see if there's any crew alive, check out if it's about to go up because of a powder keg.
As he goes down, he hears Tok's booming voice behind him saying, "Check the powder magazine."
And Vander's hand shoots out.
Give him 2, boys!
You float down in gaseous form, navigating the storm and passing through the lattice design of the dome, which reveals the main deck of the Vox Domini. Strewn across it are the remains of dozens of dead automatons and the remnants of the cannons destroyed by Tok's attack. Then, an automaton appears from a doorway. He is marching with speed and purpose across the deck, wearing a long cloak which billows in the stormy winds. He fast approaches the portside edge of the main deck. What would you like to do?
It's a pirate, Captain!
Would you like to draw attention to yourself?
There's not really anything I can do without losing my gaseous form and engaging him in a direct combat, which seems like a very poor idea at this stage. So I'm just going to watch, see what he does next.
You watch as he approaches one of the destroyed cannons. Next to it is a dead automaton. He kicks the lifeless machine as he ignites a red blade in his hand. He then steps to the edge of the Vox Domini, casts one look across the deck, and leaps from the side into the storm clouds below.
It's a really badass thing to do, you know. Only the most amazing characters would ever do that.
Call back to the DM's favourite episode.
He's left the door open. You make your way inside into the heart of the Vox Domini. You find the powder room as identified by Tok. It is moderately filled with black powder. However, there are no further automatons in the ship. This is now a ghost ship, effectively, that is floating. You can see no evidence that it's about to explode, however.
So Petren is going to drift back up to the Sterling and regain his full corporeal form, standing on the deck. But he regains his form with one hand on Vander's arm, and then Petren says, "It's all clear, everyone's safe to go aboard." But he's just holding Vander back because he wants to say something to him.
Through the grip, Vander understands that there's something more to be said, so turns in Petren's direction.
Tok is going to gather up a boarding party in his cloak. Seeksorrow, obviously, being the leader of the group, so you can choose. There's probably room for 10 people at a real squeeze.
I guess Seeksorrow will try and gather whoever's still got the guts to do this. I mean, we launched the last boarding mission probably like 60 seconds ago, it feels like. So anyone whose courage and bladder are still intact is welcome to join the...
Little Tick immediately jumps into the cloak.
Top will take another couple of automatons to assist with repairs.
And the 3 Knights of Scarlet will also join.
That's probably as many as we can fit in there, to be honest.
Looking back at the rest of the crew and understanding that he needs to stand fast, Vander yells at them.
Go ahead, boys. Complete your victory.
Tok's arms go up and he sort of Superman flies at a reasonable pace down towards the Vox Domino.
Vander looks alive at having sealed what is his first combat in charge of a fleet, and he looks up, hopefully seeing the rest of his ships taking home the victory.
There is a cacophony of explosions as the ships of the line just unleash hell on the remaining Sons of Khaile fleet, which is obliterated within seconds.
They've struck their colours, Petren. It's a victory.
I need to tell you something though, Vander. On board the ship, he jumped off just as I arrived, but it was the red-bladed bounder, the one that talks about. He was there, and he's an automaton.
He jumped from the box.
That's right.
Vander thinks very carefully for a second, then grabs Petren and pulls them both off the side of the ship.
And we will end it there.
All right.
You've been listening to Dice Company's Small Embers, starring Dave Windust as Petren Oakflower, Alex Morrison as Seeksorrow, Charlie Blackadder as Vander Finnick, and Harry King as Tok, with Tom Patrick as your Dungeon Master.
The humans of Dice Company would like to thank the following sweethearts for their support. Corey Mack, The Red Right Hand, Dave Patterson, Boy Genius, Zeus Legion, Zero Nova, Sepulchre Stennet, Marky B, Jenny the War Camel, Stephen Sikora, Nori Gosler, Mickey Arnold, Happy Daddy Scotty, Tika S.J. Phionics, Richard Ungermas, Rabbi Camel, Team Stay Toxic, Path Pursuit, Paris Pakar, Julia Zeno, Shovels, Queenie, and a special extra thanks to our very own Council of Rojan, Mama Strange, Axel Runholm, and Chris from North London.
Can I just say, Tok, conversational linebacker. I absolutely wrecked him. It's like, there's a flag on the play.
Unnecessary roughness.
It really was.
It's like,
He stopped at the 1.
absolutely stuffed him.
It's just the hardest stop I've ever seen. Oh, poleaxed.
My protege, excuse me, I must observe.
Vander says, exiting the War Council.
What was that word?
Protege, but I don't know if it had all the same syllables.
Oh, did I just...
Look, my protege.
Vander says, looking for a swift exit to the War Council. And
Still not sure we're quite there. Are we going for protege?
Protege. I think I've just always said it wrong. Protege.
protege. I think
Okay.
it's a GE. in
if
French.
it isn't a pupil of mine about to test their skills.
Stay
And I must repeat, please don't die.
I can't die.
If it helps at all, I don't care if you die or not. I don't know what the galley. What's the kitchen? Oh, fucking hell.
Galley.
Where'd you do the
correct.
washing up on the ship? Yes.
Kitchen.
I was squatting on Alexa Storm, and then she was with the Emperor, and the Emperor saw me, and I think she saw her. Hang on, now I've got to do that again.
Nearly perfect. Nearly perfect.
Well, better to do the right thing for the wrong reasons. Hang on. Better to do.
No, that's perfect for Seeksorrow.
Better to.
Lore.
Thanks for listening. Please consider supporting Dice Company on Patreon, where for the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to a whole other show, Extra Roll, as well as an ad-free listening experience. The Dice Company Discord server, along with our socials, can be found on our link tree in the show notes. If you enjoyed this chapter, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to recommend us to your friends. If you didn't like it, recommend us to your enemies. And we'll see you next time on Dice Company.
Don't let them in. Don't let them touch you.
The archipelago is shrouded in mist, dense forests, rocky shorelines, frail towns. Ernest, welcome to the archipelago.
How can so many people be missing and no one knows what's happening?
Ernest, it's not that simple. The archipelago isn't like anywhere you've ever been. There are things here, things no one wants to believe exist.
There are people who are trained to deal with these sort of things.
Do you have any idea what's in these woods?
Little boy, this place will eat you alive.
My name is Ersmarsh. I'm a park ranger in the Hubba Archipelago, and I'm going to save you.
Dark Tides is a bi-weekly actual play audio drama series. You can find Dark Tides seasons 1, 2, and 3 wherever you get your podcasts. For bonus episodes and ongoing miniseries, check out our Dark Tides Patreon.